People was very interested.
Okay, Shkoyach. We had a nice minion.
Yeah. Yeah, you took over. It's good.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. Baruch Hashem. Okay. Baruch Atla Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shachar v'rech.
Amen.
Shkoyach, son. Okay.
By the way, I gave you one more.
Okay, good.
It's
Okay.
It's not up to me anyhow.
Okay. Mitzvah Hashem.
You should have picked the last portion?
Yeah, Abamis is because we didn't get a chance last week with Lag Baimer. Bli neder, there's a Geschmack Sichos Parsha too. We'll see how we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay. I was going to skip over the Sikha, but then I saw that after the Rebbe said the Sikha, a few weeks later, the Rebbe said a moide de kavart. Let me read it inside. Parshas B'chukoisai, Ne'amar v'redaftem esayvechem v'noflo lifnechem lachorev. Mefarish Rashi, Ish becherev reihu. The enemies will kill each other. Ubechein, mi'os shekorono posek ze batoyre. V'agdomas abroche shebochermono mikol oamim v'nasalonos terose hilche ischilum melchomes v'tzoretz eitzel agoyim beinam lo beinatzim. Kach she'ein tzorech bep'ulas b'nei Yisrael shelo tzorech liyas etzlam afil cherev shel sholom.
It said the Sichos Mitzrayim b'Mitzrayim. That's exactly.
Mamish, and the Rebbe says, Ad achshav hoya adov hakoyre rak lapiyom. Aval achshav mioz akriya b'toyre that we read in the Torah the daftem esevechem v'nofel lefnechem lachorev koyre adover b'oifen shlohem meyoylo.
This is so many years ago. It was.
I understand. So Naishayla is when you read the Sikha, what's the pshat? I tell you my pshat.
It depends how you read it.
Oh, tell you my pshat. Ad the Lubavitcher Rebbe sagt das Sikha und Masbir api pshute shel mikra. Never mind api oimek and api soid and api drush and api remez. Pshat.
So in the world, that's what's happening.
It's geworden in der Welt that Takazoy.
This is the UN.
So David shall helfen that. So now I said there's no way I'm not skipping the Sikha. And the schools are learning the Sikha mit Hashem, like you said, Mitzrayim, that the goyim should get busy with each other, and we shouldn't even have to have a cherev shel sholom.
Right.
Amen.
So Bli neder will learn the Sikha. And then we'll see. Hopefully, sometime this week we could learn a little bit. If we could a Sikha on Bamidbar, and we'll see next week. Next week is Shavuos. I don't know how it's going to be, but we will have Sunday, Monday, Shiur. No, why not?
What's the problem with Sunday?
Yeah, what's the
Shavuos
problem?
is Tuesday.
Shavuos is Tuesday. The Blintz is darf man nicht machen bis Dienstag. Okay.
It says the Mashgiach came to the Zal.
Yeah.
Shavuos, it's a different topic.
Well, I'm just gonna because I phone drink something. Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, was sagst du?
Mashgiach came to the Zal. All for Shavuos, and instead of walking, sitting, talking. It's a normal thing. They're not learning. So, well, what's it? I want them there. He said the Chos and the Kal are not supposed to speak one week before the Chasana. You ever heard this before?
No. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, we have to learn. We have to learn. Okay. So, yeah, Zamori de Kasicha, and let's go straight into it. B'chukoisai. So it says in B'chukoisai telechem, v'smesoisai tishmoidim, v'nesnati geshpeichem, chulu v'chulu v'cherev la'yatav ba'artzchem. And the pasuk says, "Uredaftem esoivechem v'noflu lifnechem lachorev." Okay. V'rotfu mikem chamisha meya umeya mikem revova yerdoifu v'noflu lifnechem lachorev. V'noflu lifnechem lachorev. Sagt Rashi, lifnechem lachorev. Ish becherev reyeh. What does it mean that the enemies are going to fall? Not the Jews are going to kill them. The enemies will kill each other. As Rashi know that, we'll learn in a second. V'rotfu mikem min hachaloshim shebochem v'loi min ha-giborim shebochem. It will be only the chaloshim. Chamisha meya meya bekem redav v'kikachu ha-cheshben. Is that the cheshben? The choide vova means 10,000. 10,000. So if chamisha chase after meya, so meya is 10,000. The cheshbon says v'loya lo yitzarech loyme ela meya mikem shnei alofim yerdaifu. That they have much more koyach. Okay. Rashi says, "V'noflu eveichem, shu noiflim lifneichem shaloi kederech haaretz." It'll be miraculous. It'll be miraculous. Zov the Seif Chachamim ish b'cherev reyehu. How does Rashi know that that not the Jews are going to kill them, but it'll be ish b'cherev reyehu midloksi v'hipaltim lifneichem b'chorev oy v'hikisem oysam b'chorev. Doesn't say you're going to hit them with a chorev. It should have said Elashivlu b'cherev reyehu. As they zogt Reb Eliyahu Mizrach. Inami. Derech haborchim kshemakem oisem b'chorev makem oisem achareim. Im neufim al paneim. Im keim lo makzib lechorev ela lechorev reyehu. Well, we just started.
Oh yeah.
So he's saying because why does it say? Yeah, lechorev it should say v'noflu bechorev. Bechorev, not exact. Elamai, it's lecherev reyehu. It's not going to be to lecherev Yisroel. Okay. What's up min hachaloshim? The loksi v'yirdefu mechamisha mikem meyo. Mishkos v'achkech meya mikem regova. L'kach shina loymar the high mikem ein pirusha kemashmo. Elo mikem loshim moch. Umoch achicha imoy. Hainu oni v'stam oni hu cholosh. Very, it's unbelievable. Achap, Sif Secham has. How does Rashi know?
Mach is a light thing.
Mach means a week, because it says that it says rid of to mikem. Mikem means weak. Mikem means weak. Mikem means weak. Okay. It's a very it's an unbelievable chap. The Rebbe says an einfall, but the Rebbe says that really, if that's what Rashi meant, he would have used the loshem in amukim shebachem, not min achaloshim shebachem. He would loshem neufel loshem. It's a very, but the Rebbe says it's the einfall, a good einfall.
Mikem is 500, right? Five people 100. Also Mikem is 100 per month.
Me,
70. Oh,
for no, it's 120, 100, 100. For no 100, 100.
50.
It's 100, 100.
Let's say 5 people.
Okay. V'hikachu ha'cheshbon. Is this the cheshbon? V'lo shayach hei meyes ish le'rvavel v'fi cheshbon hei anosham lameya. Tzosi.
5%.
Yeah. V'tzosim shemen v'yakem merolinish shuhu mefarish aposik. ברוצפם 5 מאה ו100 פעמים 5 איש ירדפו רבבות. Yeah. allein דיימה כוסף הרם ויש לתמויד אם כן ואוהב דגלולים דקסיב in Nazinu Eicha ירדף אחד 1000 which is Rachmana Litzlan, that the Yidden are running away from their enemies. Eicha Yidef Echad Ela B'Shnaim Yanisser Rabba. Hoy L'Loima V'Shnaim Yanisser Shnei Alofim. V'Seifim L'Inoim Akshikush Yezu V'Tilit Shemarim Natam D'Acharoitvim V'Horgim Im Kamar Miksiv Nafel L'Fneichem L'Chorib L'Kach L'Yirde V'Yarik Im Chamisha Meya Aval Osam L'Yariga Kim Redifa. Tosis had a problem. It's at the Tosis and Soita. Tosis says, why is it over here? It says that Echod. Well, when you say the bracha for the Yidden, with the Tosis asks the Midah Toiva should be much stronger than Midah Poronius. The Gemara says that Midah Toiva is much stronger. So Tosis says, what do you mean Midah Toiva is stronger? It says over here, the pasuk says, "V'rotzvu mekem chamisha meya." And when the enemies are and the Rachmana Litzlan are chasing the Yid, it says one chases 1,000, right? So Tosfos says, nah, because over here, when it says verotfu, it means verotfu v'horgu. So you need much more people for verotfu v'horgu. But here, it's only verotfu, not v'horgu. Okay.
Got a question. In this parsha today, yesterday,
Yeah.
when we said a good thing, and I do everything if you listen. And then the bad thing, it's like 5, 6 more. The good. More.
Good question.
It's the opposite of what it's saying here.
Today.
The midah toiva.
Yeah.
But you're asking another question like Tosfos.
One. Also, yeah, one pilot to the plane, right? One rocket.
Yeah. Kill. Unbelievable.
One shot.
We have to see Nissim like that. The last piece is he says, Shaloi kederech, the kosher Rashi is bothered, loma lei lemichtav beis poma v'naf lo yveichem. Why does it say 2 times v'naf lo yveichem? It says it twice in the pasuk. So the first pasuk is to tell you a chidush that they're gonna v'naflu lifneichem lachorev, they're gonna kill each other. Second pasuk says v'naflu lifneichem lachorev, even though the pasuk says twice the same thing. V'naflu lifneichem lachorev, or v'naflu lifneichem lachorev. The second time is a biggerness that it's going to happen in a way that's miraculous. Okay. Or Chaim HaKodesh writes like this: they're ready shalom. Who's running after who? The shalom of the Welt. We went to Oslo. We signed a peace accord. Shin shalom. What kind of wars are happening? Ela yitz. כמשהו הבטיח הוא ממשהו מאומס ושלא יראה ולא ישחיסו אבל לא ממשהו מישראל אומס וזהו עיקר נס ההבטחה שלא יאמרו כשלום וההבטחה הוא שגם הם לא יראה ולא ישחיסו אומס ונמצא כגויים להם תמה לא אמרו דאפתה כי אתם תרדפו אויסם וטויבו ואף על פי כן תשבו לבטח בשלום ולא תהווה חרב בארצכם. A person is going to say, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? That if they make a peace agreement between the Jews and the Goyim, the emphasis, we know it's a theory. It's not going to happen. But in theory, someone's going to say, we can make a peace agreement. They won't kill us. We won't kill them. And we're going to roast marshmallows for like Bamidbar parade and it'll be all good. Right. So therefore the pasuk says, "V'nasati shalom ba'aretz," and v'rotfu the Yidden abiroid of the Goyim, and still v'nasati shalom ba'aretz v'shchaftem v'emachlim. So that not the pshat because they signed an agreement in Oslo saying they were all going to be nice to each other, because the Yidden have the upper hand. The Yidden have the upper hand, and they're going to have a pachad gadol from Yidden. So the Yidden can be roidef after the Goyim, but the Goyim are not roidef after the Yidden. That's the bracha. Today we're waiting for that bracha. But that's the bracha. Okay. Let's continue. If they're not bothering the Jews, why do we call them enemies? We say that it's going to be Nasati Shalom Ba'aretz. The Goyim are not going to bother the Jews. The Jews are going to go kill the Goyim. The Goyim are not going to kill the Yid. So why are you calling them enemies? Such a like a Orachaim. Shim kein ein betach vein shalom liyushveo. It's saying the Nasati Shalom v'shaftam lebetach. But if the Goyim are coming to fight against Yerushalayim, there's no Shalom, there's no betach, there's no betachon. Elo Muslims sagen that they're weak, and the Goyim do not come against Yerushalayim, and still they're called enemies. Koro is oivim latzad oive Hashem v'rishe hagoyim nikroim oive Hashem ve'eveinu. Because their Goyim are oive Hashem, so they are also our enemies. Gam latzad she'yedei Hashem kekol umes soin Yisrael beteva miskane vehi sinne yisoidis ve'ein lo tmura. Like you said the other day, the story that your teacher said that the Aravi 40 years in the grave. So even though they're not coming against Yerushalayim, the opposite of today's thinking, that we're going to make peace, and everything is going to be good. The opposite. Yeah.
It's a peace.
The opposite. The opposite, the opposite, the opposite. And even though they're not coming against the Yidden, but the Yidden will know which are the enemies, and they'll go after them and kill them, and the world's not going to be able to say a thing. But Naflu Omer Lachorev, Peter Shetin Nefilas Oivim Lifnei Am Hashem Kashir and Nefila Ashetia Ma'acherev B'derech Nemes Yitza Al Derech Omerim B'Mais Nes B'nei Chashmonoi in Yosif Chabeis Shiro Malach Sholof Charbeit Neged Oiv U'ma Shekosav Omer V'Naflu Lechor Pirush and Nishlav Malach. It says a remez V'Naflu not Bechor Lechor. Which Chorev? This Chorev that was Nishlav from the Malach. V'Rotvu. No, it's in other words more than Rashi. Whatever Rashi says, Pshat is saying, "Berotfu mikem chamisha." Rot the kosh after shamakosa ship loy v'im lifaneinu. B'derech klal shemash ma'afil l'ribe lifnei beis. Im kema makom loy meberotfu heim meya ein zel mamad b'brocha ha'alev. The first bracha says, "Berodaftem esoyveichem v'naflu l'fneichem." Second pasuk, l'chayre being memayet, not being marbe. It's being memayet. It's saying a number. Ochan Yisbarak Sub Mapi Masham Razal Masaka Soita. Daf Yudalfa Vazel Shaina. Oil Mida Teva Maruga Mida Poranis. Picture Toisves. Sham de Bermaskal Oil Vazel Shaina. Bim Timer Metzina Mida Poranis Gedel Mida Teva. Exceed Dvorim in the end. In Vazinu. Echa Yirdef. Echad Ella Vishnaim Unisur Baba Gabim in the Poranis. By Poranis we're saying Echad chases Elef. So why is it over there? But the Puranis, one is chasing after 1,000, and Midatoiva only 100 enemies and 5 Yidden. Over there, we're talking about the Puranis that the Goyim are chasing after the Yidden, but they're not killing them. Kamishemei v'sefer dekro v'nofel v'nechem l'chor ad kan l'shoyin etoises. Kosheli al divrei Zal. So the Rechem says, I don't understand. Memashi Omur v'seches meid kotten perek elo megalchim. Zel l'shoyin elo shmoyis ha'giborim al shmoyne meyes cholol b'pama achs. Shlehoye zoyrek cheitzem mapel shmoyne meyes cholol b'pama achs. Dovid Hamelech would throw a cheitz and kill, and he would kill. He would kill plishtim. He had gazettes the rockets. He didn't waste them. He every 800. And what happened? You think he would dance? No. Misaneach. Al matayim. He was David was upset. Hey, what a waste of weapons.
200 less.
200 less. Dovid Hamelech expected to kill 1,000. With one chaytz, 1,000 Palestinians should go flying.
How is this possible? It has to be like that.
So go the chaytz go to one. Kapulet go to 5.
Unbelievable. Like Shmulik said, an RPG. RPG on steroids. Not stop. So Dovid Hamelech was upset that how come the Chaitz only killed 800? It should kill 1,000. The pasuk says, "Echa yirdef echad elef." Yotza baskol v'amra rak bedvar urya achit. The premise is you should have had the schus to kill with one Chaitz 1,000. Because of the sin of urya achit, you only killed 800. That's what the Gemara says. Divrei Toisves, the Mash Amar Kosav Echa Yirdef Echad Elef Medaber Beredifa Balariga Lama Hoya Misaneach David Al Shaloi Hoyrig Elef Diksiv Echa Yirdef Echad Elef Aloi Posik Ze Eine Medaber Behariga Only Beredifa. What's David kvetching? Why are you kvetching? He's kvetching because he says we find in the Posik that it's Shayach that Echad should be Roidef Elef. So Dovid Hamelech complained to the Eibishter, why is it when I threw him a chaitz, I only killed 800 Palestinians? I should have killed 1,000 Palestinians. So the Eibush said, "B'dvar huri achiti." Fragt the Shaila, lo do the Tosfos. What's he complaining about? Over there is only the different v'loy hariga. Elomais mashma, that it means also mamish, and that's why Dovid Hamelech was complaining. Asher al kein nida the bein posuk v'rotfu chamisha bein posuk eicha yirdef eine medaber elomariga. And he answers, but let's go into the Rebbe's. The Rebbe is very similar to what the Rachaim is saying, and let's go into the Rebbe's Sichos. So, very, very quick, the Shilos that the Rebbe has, and Shuta Shal Mikra. Basically, what's bothering a lot of the Meforshim and Rashi, they're saying what's bothering Rashi is that the two psukim is a repeat. Ve'redaftem esavechem anofel afnechem lachorev. Ve'rotfu mekem chamisha meya mekem revdod revav yedorfu ve'noflo avechem afnechem lachorev. It's pushed a repeat. So you could say it's a klal parat, but the emphasis the second pasuk, it sounds like it's less. So therefore, Rashi get taich that the first v'noflo lefneichem lachorev is a chidush that the Yidden doesn't have to kill him. The goyim will kill each other. The second pasuk is a bigger chidush. Not stam the goyim will kill each other, but it'll be shaloi kederech hateva, shaloi kederech ha'olam. But that answers the seif of the pasuk why we say twice. But what's the ratio of the pasuk? Why does it say twice? And l'chayre Rashi didn't explain. Another thing that Rashi l'chayre is shver. Why is the pasuk taka say the lashon chamisha? Besides the shaila that over there by mid the tovim mitzironis that over there it says echad to elef, and over here it's meya. Besides the meya to the elef, it's a simple number. Echad and elef is a very simple number. One, and then you add 2 zeros, 3 zeros. What's this number? It's a funny number. 5 to 100. What's the mitnamol the finif? And the Rebbe shit is that the Chomish Mikra learns thoroughly and a schlaft nicht wenn man lernt and a lernt and a versteht was man sagt, and that's if Rashi didn't answer, he thought the child knows already. And another shaila is just like the older Meforshim ask in Rashi and in the pasuk that what's the double lashon at Rashi v'hikacho cheshem letzorech lememel. In Rashi at the end, earlier, why does it say minachal meloshim v'loy minagiboyim? If you say virot from mekem minachal loshim, versteht sich it's loy minagiboyim. Why does Rashi have to say a double lashon virot from mekem minachal loshim shebachem v'loy minagiboyim shebachem? And Be'emes Taka, how does Rashi know that it means minachal loshim? Taka, the Sifsacham said the word mikem means weak, but it's a shvach. It's the Rebbe says einfal. Mikem mochu mekecha. Moch means a weak. It means a poor person, and usually a poor person is a weak person. But Rashi didn't say virot for mikem. It means mukim shebakem. He said menachaloshim shebakem. So this is shver. So here's the Rebbe's view. The Rebbe's view is simple. This is also einfal in the Rebbe's view. That the pasuk is talking repetitive. Why did the pasuk say twice the same thing? Elamai. The first pasuk would adaftem esevechem. We're talking about the IDF. We're talking about the Anshe Atzava. We're talking the people that are trained, the Giboidim, that would adaftem esevechem and nafel lefneichem v'chare. Second pasuk says achitush. V'rotfu mikem. Not the soldiers. Even if the soldiers are not around, and there's only the chaloshim shebakem. So the first pasuk is talking about the geborim shebakem, and the second pasuk is the bigger chiddush that even the Yidden that are chaloshim, not geborim, they're not from the Anshe Atzava, they're not trained to fight. Even them, merot from mikem chamisha meya revav mirdoif. The Rebbe has a very big word. The Rebbe says. The word chaloshim, where did the kids see chaloshim? I don't know. It's just shachab. The Rebbe says, it says by Yosef Hatzadik that Miktei Echav he took and he brought them to Pari. Miktei Echav lokach chamisha anoshim vayitzikim lepei Pari. Rashi says, min hachaloshim v'loy min hagiborim kedei shepari lo yaseh otzei anshe mechamtei.
And also over there, how many boiler he took? 5.
So the
5 chaloshim.
Why? Because just like before in the Torah, Emes Take doesn't always have to be that in every Kehillah there's 5, like, sort of Batlonim in Beis HaMedrash. There isn't the Pesadin that says every community has to have 5 Yukla, have 5 Chaloshim. But it's the Kilu, because we already had in the Chumash that there was a story that among Bnei Yisrael, that there was Chamisha, and these Chamisha Vayetzigim Lifnei Pari, they were the Chaloshim. So the Torah continues Kilu and B'chakoyse from then. Afilu that it should be Chamisha Chaloshim, with Chiret Amola Chamisha Chaloshim. Lu that all the soldiers are busy now. They're in Gaza, now we're in the front over there with Hezbollah, or the other way around, and they're in Kiryat Shmona, and the soldiers are not there, and they're all Chaloshim. Because we already had in Torah the number 5 of Chaloshim, so the Torah continues that Verot Fumikem Chamisha Meya.
So Yosef was the first one to connect.
A little bit hard because even Chamisha, when he says, what happened if I don't give you? So we're going to
Now, when we find history that this happened,
Which, what?
either
Oh, I don't know that, but he's saying, they're actually saying that that's the pshat here. Where do we find that Chaloshim chased after Giboidim and they were successful? What do you mean? The story of the Chashmonoim? The story of the Chashmonoim? I don't know. There was a lot of stories.
well, actually, even the Chashmonaim, it wasn't so simple. I mean, they were fighting for years, and all fought. I don't know if you know that all 5 of the Chashmonaim brothers, every single one of them died a violent death.
Right, true. But Lepoy, like he says, the Loshen and the Alanism is Geboidim B'yad Chaloshim. That's Lepoy the Loshen.
Okay, but you know, like I said that it was so simple. And people think
Right.
that it was like a war that's going on for years.
Right.
Even after the death of Monica,
It was still right. It was still, yeah. Emes.
like how it does.
Right.
Stop.
It's like now in Gaza. The truth is, do the Rotzna Kodesh Baruch Hu, we come out on top.
So yeah,
We have to have patience, and we have to daven, and we have to say Parshas B'chukoisai, and we have to see, we have to have Oirach Ruach. Okay. Anyway, next. Huh? These are real Oivi Hashem.
Because they want to keep the children of Hashem.
These are mamish Oivim. These are echte Oivim.
even Dovid Hamelech, I mean, his whole life,
Right.
he was surrounded by on all sides, all 3 sides. He was surrounded
With enemies.
making wars.
Right. Emes. Well, anyway, Dave shall help, and that we should see it kipshuto. We should see that exactly what the Torah says in an open way. One more thing. Oh,
5,000.
so 5 we have read in the Rebbe says. Dovid Chaim asks on Tosfos that L'chayr Sotnish can clap the Tosfos teretz. So Hodar Kushil Duchta. So Taka Tosfos hat Chagute Kasha. Tosfos is saying, how come the Gemara says Mida Toiv is stronger than Mida Puranya? So Tosfos asks, how come it says by the Goyim that Echa chases Elif, and over here by Mida Toiv it says 5 chase after 100? So this teretz is Rashi. Rashi wants to answer this teretz up to that. That's why Rashi says Mina Chaloshim v'loy Mina Giboid. Because if Rashi just said Mina Chaloshim, you would think Mina Chaloshim v'kol shkem Mina Giboidim. So the Rashi says no. If it was Giboidim, one Gibor could chase after 5,000. And you see Taka Dovid Hamelech, he cried when he threw a gates and he only killed 800 plishtim. He cried, Hayatochen, I didn't kill 1,000 plishtim. So if it was Geboidim, versteht sich that Echad could kill 1,000. Over here, Rashi saying the second pasuk, the chiddush of the second pasuk is not the Gib. That's what Rashi says. V'rotfu mikem min hachaloshim shebachem v'loy min hagaboidim shebachem. Otherwise, you read Rashi and you say chaloshim v'kol shken geboidim. The chamisha chaloshim could chase 100. Kol shken geboidim. No, if it was geboidim, Echad could chase after 1,000. Like Dovid Hamelech threw one rocket and he killed 800 plishtim, and he was upset that he didn't kill 1,000 plishtim. But if it's only chaloshim, so for them, zok the pasuk, rot v'mikem chamisha meya. So really, the second pasuk is saying a bigger chiddush than the first. There's no limit. There's no limit. Like Dovid Hamelech, when there was the Giboinim, maybe even Echad will throw one arrow and it'll kill 1,000 Giboinim from the enemies. But the second pasuk says, "Min hachaloshim v'loy min hagiboinim." So they attack the chaloshim, but still we say v'rot mikem chamisha meya. Tamorid the kibord. So this is pshute shel mikra. But it's remarkable is that the Rebbe, like I said, the Akdama from the Shiur, the Rebbe said the Sicha. No, this I mentioned this 2 weeks ago on Shabbos. This was really the height of Melchemet HaTasha. This was, and the Rebbe spoke about it. First of all, what happened that week was the story in Nebuch, like I mentioned Shabbos. What happened in Avivim, Nebuch, that 12, the bus was attacked, 12 children, 9 children, and 3 adults were killed. And also at that time, the Egyptians started to Kricharain and the Sinai, Hulu. What happened? The Suez Canal. But in the summer that year, Israel had a few really significant victories against Egypt.
MiG-21.
Yeah, right. The thing is that later America twisted their hand to make a Heskem Shalom. A day after the Heskem Shalom was made, the Egyptians already, and the Egyptians kept on fortifying themselves, but Israel were gentlemen. And then the Yom Kippur War broke out. The same foolish plan that the President of the United States set forward on Friday, that we're going to, 6 weeks, we'll have cessation of killing the Rotzchim. And then we'll talk about a permanent ceasefire. The permanent will only be in the side of Israel. In the side of Hamas, they'll never be. They're never going to stop. They're not going to stop for a day. They're not going to stop for a minute.
And he said, I promise you, will not be against October 2nd. He's promised us.
Yeah, he promised us.
It will be worse.
He promised. He also before Yom Kippur War met with Golda Meir, and he promised her that the Egyptians are not going to cross the Suez Canal. He promised her. Mamish Azoy, he promised Golda Meir, and the Chiddush is not that this fool is doing the same stupid thing 40 years later. The Chiddush is that the Bnei Yisrael that's supposed to be Am Chochem V'Noven, and that they are listening to such tipshus, and there's people, Rachmana litzlan, in the hierarchy of the IDF that are saying that Rachmana litzlan, that we should follow such a thing, a tipshus shebetipshus. The Rebbe says Takazor, when the Rebbe spoke to Sicha, the Rebbe saw that after he spoke to Sicha, that there was miracles malamayla. Elamai, we didn't keep those miracles. We had a tzloch, and instead of using that momentum, so we made a stupid Heskem Shalom with Mitzrayim. They broke it a minute later, but we were bound by the Americans to keep it. And we kept it until Rachmana litzlan, the Yom Kippur War broke out. So Dave shall hoffen that we shouldn't have a repeat today. We should have the opposite. We should learn from our mistakes. I just wanted to mention there was a few years ago, the Queen of England, Alea Shalom, said there was a monument that was erected for one of the top military figures in the Second World War. His name was Arthur Harris, and Germany had they had unbelievable tightness. This guy Arthur Harris had the idea that how do you machnia the Germans? Complicated ahin with the hay, with the shmei, with the pinpoint and the shmin point, carpet bombing. The Germans claimed that l'chol ha'poches, not military people, l'chol ha'poches, 600,000 civilians were killed by Arthur Harris. The British are not saying this in the Shtemis. The British are not saying, no. It was only 300,000. No. Also given Kach Hoya Maisa. Kach Hoya Maisa. Millions of houses he destroyed. He destroyed cities. Huh?
Hiroshima was more.
No, but I'm saying now this is the side. So he carpet bombed Germany, and they were already losing anyway. But just to make sure. No, he was in the military brass in England, and there was a few years ago, and the Germans said, "Hayatochen," that Queen Elizabeth was going to go. Okay, whatever at the time, but now you're going to go and erect the. She didn't care. She said, "Listen, he's a military hero by us. For you, yeah, he killed 600,000 civilians, but to us,
these Führers won't be the Nazis. They were actually not Nazis.
yeah, that's what." And the Germans, they live it. That's the gate to Nishtan. She said, "Listen, to us, he's a hero. He saved us. What he did to you guys, you don't erect a monument for him in Hamburg, because he really destroyed 98% of Hamburg. Don't do that. But she wasn't the small, and the world didn't say a word. So Kain Tialonu, Otazak. It's exactly what I want to say. That in the schools that we're learning tonight, and we're coming behemshach, like when you're coming from Pashas and B'chokoisei, a lot of times you feel, B'chokoisei is such a strong Pasha, like you just asked. But it's funny, the Rebbe is learning the same Pasha as me and you, and the Rebbe, when he finishes learning the Pasha, you see, he finished learning a Pasha, V'virotfu mekem, v'nedaftem es neveichem, v'noflu lefneichem l'chorem. Oi, azech brachas. When the Yidden read the Parsha and they say the bracha, they read the Parsha, a few weeks later we see miracles. You see? So the Rebbe from the schools that we learn this Parsha, we learn the Sichos on this Parsha, that first the Gebonim should do their job, and even the Chaloshim should be able to do their job too.
Leave us alone.
Huh?
They should stay out of the way.
Exactly what Rashi says. In the first Rashi,
It is with each other.
It
is with each other.
That is right. Yeah.
It should make
Whatever Rashi, whatever you missed, whatever we learned in Rashi, came to Yalonu. So just to finish off, there was a story that happened today. That there's a soldier, who's a frum soldier. His name is Shimon Amar, and he started to join a Tanya Shiur. And the Shiur, they were talking lately about the Rebbe's whole thing about making sure if every Yid is going to put on film, it will be V'ro Kol HaMa'aretz V'Shem Hashem Nikra Lach V'Yorem Mekah. Today he's stationed. The Americans built this Koloimish, the pier
from the water.
Yeah. Exactly. This Koloimish pier to help out the impoverished, humanitarian aid. So he's stationed there, and he sees a Yiddish upon him, an American soldier, and he looks Jewish. He goes over, Shalom Aleichem, are you Jewish? He said, yeah, he's Jewish. Your mother's Jewish? He said, yeah. Actually, he says his mother passed away a few years ago, and his mother said before she died, she'd like him to go to Jerusalem. He never went to Jerusalem, but now he was just sent. So Shimon told him, listen, did you ever have a bar mitzvah? He said, no, I don't know what a bar mitzvah is. Oh, wow. Did you ever put on film? He said, no, I never put on film. So they rolled up his sleeve. What? Shalom Aleichem. So the IDF soldier rolls up the sleeve to the American soldier, and he puts on film with him. Maybe shall help him. Wow. We have such a school, so maybe we'll ask. Okay. Oh, very good.
סדר מויד, בתלמוד הבבלי, מסתיים במסכת, נגמר, אוקיי?
אתה יכול להגיד
בעברית.
מסתיים במסכת חגיגה. למה? סדר מועד זה ראשון יום סוכה, שבס. בתלמוד הירושלמי זה מסתיים עם מסכת מועד קטן. בבוס, מועד קטן זה אבלות. אז מה זה מסתיים? מסתיימים כדי לגמור אותו, ולעמוד את הנצח, אחרי שימדו על כל פנים. אז אומר הרבה, כשהדיזל כותב, שמויד בגימטריה 120. בגימטריה גם 120. אומר האריז"ל, מה אפשר לעשות שתגובה בגימטריה זה רק 119. אז אומר האריז"ל, עם הכולל. מה זה עם הכולל? עם המילה עצמה. שנראה מה זה עם הכולל? מספר זה מספר. זה מתאים? זה לא מתאים, זה הכולל. רוב הפעמים, דמעה, זה ביטוי של צער, של יגון, של אובדן, של קושי גדול מאוד, והדמעה היא במקום. אבל מי שמאמין ומרגיש, זה רק חלק מהתמונה, ויש משהו כולל, יש משהו גדול יותר. אז הדמעה הזאת היא תהפך להיות לדמעה של מועד, של השתוקקות בסדר. המקום שיש בו הכי הרבה דברים.
זורים בדימה ברינה יקצרו.
אתה זורים בדמעה?
ברינה יקצרו.
לא.
פה יבוא ברינה.
לא, זה כבר אומר דבר אחר, אז אתה זורים בדמעה ברינה. זה יקצור. זורים בדמעה ברינה. בגלל שהתמונה היא גדולה יותר, אז יקצור.
כי יש סיפר בדרך הבכי.
אז לכן, זה פה הפוינט, שמי שבעצם הוא מבין שזה חלק מהתפילה,
וואו.
לכן המקום, יש פה הכי הרבה דמעות, זה בית עלמין. בהרבה מקומות בארץ ישראל כתוב, ושמויד לכל חי. זה לא תחנה סופית. שם יהיה מויד, שם יהיה דמעה של שמחה. ולכן, תשמעו, למה אדם נפטר, מסתכלים במצעים. צבא, ככה בקטנה, תכתוב קשה, תארים, פטנט, רק פתאום עושים לצבא. הוא דבר נקרא. רק פתאום עושים לצבא. הם יודעים מה יהיה בתחייה הסמייסים. הם מבינים מה יהיה בתחייה הסמייסים. כל בתי הדין ששו לצבא. יהיה משפחה, יהיה שכונה, יהיה חברים. אבל אומר שאתה מזלמן. כי יגיע הזמן, אולי תצאו בסדר השם, כל אחד על פי ההלכה צריך לחזור למקום שמשם הוא יצא, ולברך בשם המלכות שעשה לנס במקום הזה. אם תהיה אבן קטנה, יזיזו אותה. אז המצבה, זה לא בשביל הנפטר, זה בשבילנו, להראות האמונה בתחייה הסמייסים. יודעים הרי שהרב קולי ציין אצל הרב, אז הוא שאל כמה שאלות, מה אתה בא אליי? סליחה, מורי ביטור, שלמה זלמן. ואני ראיתי בכתב ידו של שלמה זלמן. בכתב ידו, שהוא כותב לרב במכתב, הוא כותב בסוף, אני מבקש אם הרב יכול להזכיר אותי, להתכתב את שמו, שם אמו, ואת רעייתו ושם אמו. ראיתי בכתב ידו, בקצרה, אני לא קרוב להבין את זה. היה ביניהם אחווה בלתי רגילה. בלתי רגילה.
אבל אתה יכול להגיד, כבודו, האבא שלך, היה לו קשר עם הרב, כן?
הדוד שלי.
הדוד.
היה לו קשר גדול, יש את הוידאו המפורסם, עם הבן, עם הלימוד. אני הייתי אצל הרב פעמיים, 3 פעמים.
ביחידס?
לא ביחידס.
בדולרים.
אני בדולרים.
וואו, איזה זכות.
זה אותו דבר, זה יחידוס.
דבר מעניין, כשיצאתי, מיד נתתי את הדוד.
אין לך את הדולר?
שמע, מיד נתתי. חזרתי אחר כך פעם אחרת, אז באתי מהרבנים שאז אמרו, שאבא שלנו נתן מיד את הדוד. זה הברכה. יהיה לך ברכה מזה שנתן מיד. ככה הוא אמר לי, אני מהילד. זה אחד מהקרדיט כאן שקצת אני רואה. מה העניין?
עכשיו.
אני באתי לשיעור שלך, אבל איחרת.
נכנסתי
עלה לבא לפה, אני יצאתי.
זה לא טוב שבאת. שבאת לפה. לי הישיבה, כתבתי, כשהצם מגיע, עם הפסקה למצאת שלו. אבל כולם חיכו.
סיפור לכם ככה, לא היה שם. לא היה
שיר,
סיפור ספרדי או שאתה מסיק?
שומעים.
העיקר שיתפלל.
הייתי